Hi, I'm Leslie,
I'm Stephanie.
and we are the Hand Readers Guild. And we're here today to talk about hand gestures, using your hands to communicate. I think there's probably a lot of hand gestures going on TikTok these days. What do you think?
Right. What's this thing? Whatever they're
I
doing.
don't
I don't
know.
know. It's a dance and all
I
that
think
jazz.
I'm just too
All
old
that
to know
jazz.
what these things are.
All the jazz hands.
Jazz hands? Are you doing jazz hands?
Yes.
Okay, so before we get into our slideshow and talk to you about all these fun gestures, we're going to talk to you a little bit about Hand Readers Guild. So we have a series of these videos on our YouTube channel, which is Hand Readers Guild, and we also have a Facebook page called the Hand Readers Guild, and we have a group on Facebook that you can join called the Hand Readers Guild Forum. And it's right there. The links to all these things are going to be below this video. And we would love it if you like our videos, if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, and join our group where you can ask questions and learn lots of stuff, because we have, besides these videos, we have all kinds of diagrams and little teachings. And every once in a while, we might have a class on some subject that might interest you.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have anything else to say about that? Our disclaimer.
Disclaimer. I was going to say we have a disclaimer. We are live. We don't edit anything. So between our dogs and my girls, which I gave them a big lecture of don't come out here and bug me right now. They may interrupt us for a moment. You might see us on mute, but we don't go back and edit. So you get our whole lives as we are.
Right. Dogs barking, whatever they end up doing. Sometimes they even pop their heads into the picture. So if you can handle that, you're going to learn some fun stuff. So let's get going with our slideshow. So hand gestures. Hand gestures. We're talking about hand gestures today. This is the second disclaimer from a U.S. perspective. And I want to say that because hand gestures tend to be cultural.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the gestures that are perfectly acceptable here in the U.S. may get you in big trouble when traveling around the world. So just keep that in mind. Don't take what we're showing you here and start sharing it all over the place and expect to get the same reaction you might get when you walk out your front door if you live here in the US with us. And, the same thing may be true of hand gestures from other cultures that we might not have the same meanings for here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our little disclaimer number 2 for the day. So one of the things that I found was very interesting when doing my research on hand gestures was that hand gestures make people listen to you. If you're familiar with TED Talks, they're all about 18 minutes long, and they're on all different kinds of subjects. But what was found in the research of looking at the most popular TED Talks is that the people who are giving those talks, there's an average of almost 500 hand gestures in those 18 minutes for the most popular videos of the TED Talks. Whereas the least popular ones have about half as many, about 270 hand gestures. That's still an awful lot of hand gestures.
That is an
Can you
awful lot.
imagine using your hands 270 times in 18 minutes?
That's a big workout.
It's probably a lot of it's unconscious. Who knows? Of course, here on Zoom, you don't see people's hands that much unless we're
Up like this talking. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yes. You don't see them that often because it's a smaller screen. But if you're up on stage, so we all make hand gestures. Some of us are, gesture a lot, and some of us are just little subtle ones, but we all do. This particular image is from a TED Talk. This is Sir Ken Robinson. It's one of my favorite TED Talks. And he's got 2 different hand gestures going on here. One with one hand up in the air and flat palm, and the other one with his hand in a fist. And so they have different meanings, but Apparently, they were both relevant to what he was saying at the moment. So, one of the reasons that the TED Talks are more popular with more hand gestures is that the hand gestures are viewed as warm and agreeable. And people who are keeping their hands still are often seen as cold, or they may seem nervous, depending on, like if you're really stiff and your hands are at your sides, it might be because you're not very used to being up on stage talking in front of people. And another nice little cute tidbit that I came up with doing the research was that hand gestures are known to help you access memories. Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Yep. Well, visual and audio together, or
Right.
just cueing you to a specific thing you're talking about.
Well, one of the things we know as hand readers is that your hands, there are more nerve endings from your hands to your brain than anywhere else in your body. And that you get more information from your hands to your brain than your eyes and ears combined. So it kind of makes sense that moving your hands around actually gets your brain activated, don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
I would think so. Okay, so our bodies are built in a way that when you rotate your shoulders, mostly your hands go in front of your body. If you swing your arms, they tend to go in front of your body from the side to the front. So when your hands are visible in front of you, you appear more open and friendly, and it's a more informal and trustworthy position, even though this guy's in a suit, right? Still a little informal. So in contrast, having your hands behind your back is considered more formal, and he's not in a suit, but he is in his turtleneck. So hiding your hands conveys superiority, interestingly enough. And this is a gesture that's often used by law enforcement officials to appear more authoritative.
Bigger,
right. It makes your chest puff out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, though, what someone has behind their back, which is why the trust factor may be a little less when someone
Mm-hmm.
has their hands behind their back. Hopefully it's flowers or a present, but sometimes it can be a weapon.
You prepare for the weapon, but be surprised with the flowers.
Right. Yes. So, speaking of someone who is known for keeping their hands poised front and center, this is Angela Merkel. And she is known for this gesture that you see in this slide, the steepled hands. I'm going to have to put my hands up pretty high to show you. But it's where the thumbs are on top and the rest of the fingers are making a little steeple. She is so well known for this gesture. If you Google her in Google Images, you will say Angela Merkel's hands. You will just see a million pictures of her in every color suit, wearing, all these different clothes. So they're different occasions with her hands in this gesture, and it's become such a part of her brand that it has its own Wikipedia page.
That's just crazy.
I know. And also, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, when they made her figurine, they used this hand gesture as part of her figure. And there are even cartoon figurines in her likeness made with this gesture. I think those are adorable.
Those are adorable.
Incense burners. I don't know where I could get one.
I need a set of them.
I know. And look, they're in all the different colors that she wears. There's that pink that she has on behind the photo, right?
Exactly.
That's the pink. So I think they probably looked at what color she really wears.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty accurate looking.
Very cute.
I love the haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Speaking of steepled hands, you're more likely when someone steeples their hands, good job there, to see it up in front of your chest. This is the more typical manner in which you would find someone steepling their hands. So this gesture is considered one of confidence, sometimes called the power position. So, or you could call this the raised steeple, and the one that Angela Merkel does, the lowered steeple. Now, If the person with the raised steeple starts rubbing the tips of their index fingers together, that means they may be contemplating a power play. This is the finger of power. We just did a whole video on the power finger, and I think we covered this gesture in there as well, didn't we?
I think we did a
Briefly.
quick view on that one. Yes.
Yeah, briefly.
I
But if you are interested in a little more about the power finger,
yes.
take a look. That was last week's.
I think they had a few of those rubbing fingers in like old westerns when they're playing cards. There's always one guy there that's like, and then he puts his big hand down.
Interesting. You have to watch some old westerns and pay attention to that.
I've only seen a few, but from my recollection.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So here we have another gesture using the index finger. This is wagging the finger. Who wags their finger? Your teacher?
Your mother.
May wag their finger at you. Your mother. Mothers definitely wag their fingers at you. Your boss.
Your boss.
But, you know, actually, it's really not a very nice gesture. It's kind of an aggressive gesture. And it's not a gesture we recommend that you use unless you're correcting your dog after they piddle on the floor.
Or you're trying to order a drink. Excuse me.
No. I don't know. Your bartender might spit in your drink if you do that.
It's very possible. It's all in the way that you say it. If you say, excuse me, I need your assistance now. Then
okay. I don't know. Now, using your index finger to gesture, it doesn't always have to be rude. You will notice that many world leaders or just kind of corporate CEOs, when they're up in front of people talking, will point their finger upward to make emphasis on what it is they're talking about. If they're trying to emphasize a particular point in their speech, this is very common. You will see it a lot. And politicians in particular use it, but you will also see it in business. So this is not considered a rude index finger gesture. This is the Dalai Lama using this gesture to make a point. Usually he's a little more smiley in his photos, but this is the one I found. Now, here's a gesture that is probably one of the most common ones you see. And it's so common, even one of our most common emojis is the same, right? The thumbs up emoji or the thumbs down emoji. And in fact, if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to give your opinion about whether we're doing a good job on this, the little buttons to click look like little thumbs up or thumbs down, right?
We only want thumbs up.
We only want thumbs up.
No thumbs down.
Wait, wasn't there those two movie critics who used to do thumbs up and thumbs down?
Yes, Siskel and Ebert.
That's right. They did the thumbs up and thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, that was a long time ago. 2
thumbs up. Yeah, I think they both have passed. I know at least one of them has for sure.
Yeah, no, both of them have at
both
this
of them,
point. Yeah. So some of the younger viewers of this might not even know who the heck we're talking about. But, if you're watching old movies and your DVD cover says 2 thumbs up, that's why. It was because of Siskel and Ebert. And I actually used to use that as a measure of which movies to choose a lot.
Yeah.
So
we don't have that anymore.
No. Now we just get emails from Netflix going, you want to watch this? I'm sure of it.
Right. Or Redbox.
Or because it's our original. You want to watch it. So thumbs are associated with the will and with control. So, there are other thumb gestures, but this is the most popular. But this particular gesture, just to reiterate what we said at the beginning, This can be considered a rude gesture in many other cultures. So
Hmm.
be careful when you're getting off that plane uh, about whether you use this gesture or not.
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
Speaking of rude,
Oh, lovely finger.
we don't have to tell you what this gesture means.
The finger.
The finger.
The finger. Number
Right.
one.
It has a lot of nicknames, doesn't it? It's
Yep.
called flipping the bird. Could you think
You're,
there's
you're
some
number
other.
one. We use that a lot. You're number one.
I haven't heard that one.
That's our chant.
Okay, you and who else?
Well, it's a family thing, I guess.
Okay. Well, maybe it's not just your family. Who knows?
Exactly. I got it from somebody else. So,
All right. Well, this gesture dates all the way back to the ancient Greeks. There's actually writings from Socrates that refer to this gesture. That's how old it is. And the ancient Greeks considered it a phallic symbol. So the FU part was the meaning attached to it even way back then. The Romans adopted this gesture from the Greeks and they gave it a name. They called this finger the digitus imputicus, which translates, I love that. I love saying that. Digitus imputicus. It translates to the finger of ill repute or the finger of impudence.
impudence.
I know. It's just fun to say that.
Oh,
So
God.
this gesture pretty much means the same thing wherever you go in the world.
Yeah.
So don't have to worry about being mistaken for something else if you get on the plane with this one.
So if you see somebody flipping you off, you could say, I don't speak Greek. Dude, what are you saying to me?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it just came up.
Okay. All right.
On
I have a feeling we
that
might get
note,
some thumbs down on this video.
the jokes are bad.
Right. 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 So I want to wrap up this slideshow with something a little less rude and a little more iconic and fun. This gesture.
Live long and
And
prosper.
we were trying to practice this
Oh,
before we got on. I actually have a really hard time getting my pinky and ring finger to come together like that. It takes some real concentration from my
or you
brain.
can do the mork for mork, which was opposite, like this. Nanu nanu.
Okay.
I just
Well,
thought of that after I saw this. I remember seeing this for the first time on TV and having to practice so that I could do that so easily.
really?
Yes, I was a little kid, little kid.
All right. Well, this was the original Star Trek series. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I was a little kid too. And I remember, at least on the East Coast where I was growing up, it was on Sunday nights. And so we would, it was the last thing we were allowed to watch before we had to go to bed and get ready for school the next morning. So, Star Trek, Live Long and Prosper from Mr. Spock. So, according to Leonard Nimoy, who played Mr. Spock, this Vulcan blessing, he made it up. It was not given to him in a script from the writers or the producers. This is something he came up with himself. It is inspired by the traditional hand gesture of the Jewish Kohanim during the priestly blessing. So he is a Jewish man, and this is coming from his background. He just brought it forth to use on Vulcan. And he, there it is. You can see these fingers like this in a lot of these old tablets. You can see it on old, if you start looking up this gesture in Google Images, you'll see it on headstones. You'll see some like calligraphy style drawings of it from old manuscripts that are actually very beautiful. So in his YouTube video where he talks about coming up with this gesture, and you can find that video pretty easily by Googling it, he says that this was inspired by the letter Shin, the Hebrew letter Shin, and that it may have had its origins in Kabbalistic teachings. So Shin is associated with peace and serenity. And Shin is also associated with the natural changes in the yearly cycle on Earth. So the changes of the seasons and the changes in nature and the changes that the solar system makes as it goes through the yearly cycles. So the way I take it to mean is that when as time marches on, the universe maintains its natural rhythms, bestowing peace and order for the inhabitants of the planet. That's the way I interpret that. Maybe it's a little idealistic. I don't know. But if you think of it that way, if you think about the origins of the letter and the priestly blessing that inspired this, I'd say that what we really need is a few more of us going around making this hand gesture instead of the previous hand gesture, right? Let's
Right.
have a little more, it takes a little more practice to do this one.
But also
But
see the
I think,
space that's open versus no space at all.
right,
Mhm.
right. So yes, it's a
Little more energy
very
coming
interesting.
through. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yep. That's a nice way to think about it. So I would like to see more of this gesture where we are offering peace and serenity to our fellow human beings than the flipping them the bird,
Right.
which is a very, very hostile thing. And I don't know. I like this one much better.
Me too.
So that's it for gestures. There are a lot more gestures that we could cover, but we just wanted to cover some of the more common ones and a less common one at the end. That's just a nice gesture.
Yes.
So that, but one that's kind of got an iconic place in our culture.
Hmm.
And if you have questions about any other gestures, we might actually know what they mean. And you can feel free to ask us about that in the comments below our video. We're very happy to answer them.
Hmm.
And anything else we want to say about gestures?
Oh, there's so many gestures.
Yes,
nothing,
there are.
nothing that I can think of off the top of my head.
All right. Well, like I said, if you have questions about any other gestures, feel free to ask us in the comments. Remember, we have a Facebook group, Hand Readers Guild Forum, that you can join. And you can learn a lot more about hands there. We have lots of these videos archived there. And we also have diagrams and teachings. And feel free, we can get into discussions with you. We're happy to answer any questions you have. We have our YouTube channel called Hand Readers Guild Forum. The link is going to be below this video. And we would love it if you enjoy what we're doing with Hand Readers Guild Forum videos, that you subscribe to our channel. You'll get a notice when we're going to go live again. You can watch us live and ask us questions. Oh, we do have a comment. Look at that. Ah, I think that's the same guy as last week. That
Oh,
made
is it the same guy, like a
gib
spammer?
gibberish comment. Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Bye-bye. And we, well, we'll just be back next time. We have 21 videos at this point.
Hmm.
Last week we did the power finger. So related to this, we have ones on your headline. We have one on the simian crease. We have some on stars on your hands. We talk about myths in your hands and what you can and can't really tell from reading hands. We talk about the 4 fingerprint types and what those mean for your life journey.
Hmm.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a really good one.
Mhm.
Gosh, I can't. Oh, we had a really great one of what happened, showing how your lines of your hands change.
Oh, right. Lines that change.
Right, and then we've had 2 videos so far in a similar series, which is it's kind of a sub-series where we just actually read the handprints and do little mini readings.
Those are fun.
Those are fun, and we'll be doing more of those. So if you enjoy all this, come back, visit us, subscribe, join our group, ask questions, and we will be happy to meet you there. And until next time, wait, we need a gesture. We need this gesture. Wait. There it is.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Okay, bye-bye.